Hello and welcome to Good Morning DRC TV. Today is Tuesday the 8th of April and I bring you an update on the situation in the eastern part of the DRC or in the DRC in general, but specifically because we're focusing on what is happening in the DRC in terms of the conflict that has unfolded or has been for some 30 years. This conflict, let me remind you, has taken the lives of more than 10 million people, and this conflict has been in place or has been started because of one man and one man only, that is Paul Kagame, who has in different phases have brought about different militia groups who have basically killed and looted the Democratic Republic of Congo. And more recently, we've seen what's happened in Goma and Bukavu, and this obviously has drawn the attention of many people around the world, and sanctions and different situations have come in order to condemn and tell Kagame that he is wrong in what he is doing. Now, you probably would have seen or known because you watch my videos, or if you haven't, I'm inviting you please to go and watch videos that I have released before talking about the conflict in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. I have no peace and I don't want to let these matters rest. I want to talk about this until peace has come into that part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. I feel very bad. I'm saddened to know that the media at large doesn't talk about this because obviously it's not of their interest to do so, because those who own massive or big media, they are the ones that are involved or are funding what is happening there. How do they fund this? By supporting Paul Kagame, by arming him, giving him all the logistics and the different material that he uses, that is in terms of armament, in order to do what he does in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And also these media moguls, they end up buying the product that is the minerals from the DRC to help them deal with their computers and also to build, if you like, the latest technology they have, even in security and in defense forces. They all need these minerals to survive. And so the DRC was basically an open border, an open gate for them to go and do what they have done. And in the process, like I said, 10 million people have lost their lives. That is almost the size of Rwanda itself. But let's come back to this topic today. Now, I want to focus on this chap here, Massad Boulos, who is the senior advisor to Trump, who has been in the DRC in order to negotiate or talk about this deal. Now, what we learn from the newspaper here in Britain, the BBC, is obviously talking about the situation or his meeting with President Tshisekedi. I want to read out this article to you so you can understand. And yes, I will place, comments there so you can understand what is going on there. But now let me read this to you. Obviously, you can read it yourself. The US and the Democratic Republic of Congo are in talks over a mineral deal in the resource-rich Central African nation, according to a senior US official. Quotes, "You have heard about minerals agreements. We have reviewed the Congo's proposal. I'm happy to announce that the President and I have agreed on a path forward for its development," U.S. Senior Advisor for Africa, Massad Boulos, after meeting the Congolese President Félix Tshisekedi. That is very, very important. And I want to read now in fact, let me just read here. DR Congo, home to a vast natural reserves like lithium, which is essential for battery and electric vehicle production, has been battling Rwandan-backed M23 rebels who have seized large areas of territory this year. This is very terrible, but I've talked about this before. If you haven't seen my videos, please go and watch. Tshisekedi believes U.S. involvement in extracting the minerals could help quell the violence that has plagued the east of the country for nearly 30 years. Currently, DR Congo's mineral wealth is largely dominated by Chinese firms. Aside from security reasons, there are also economic motivation for pursuing the deal. Joseph Banganya, a Congolese lawmaker and and president of the DR Congo US Parliamentary Friendship Group told the Reuters news agency that legislators were preparing a bill to improve the country's business climates. Now, this is what this man, speaking on behalf of the DRC, said, and this is basically the proposal that the DRC is putting forward to the American Senate, is basically that what we want is this. We want a lasting peace that affirms the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the DRC. Bakanya said, there can be no economic prosperity without security. On Tuesday, the U.S. State Department said the aim of Mr. Boulos' trip was to advance efforts for a durable peace in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and promote U.S. private sector investment. U.S. private sector investment. So, speaking after his meeting with the Congolese president, Mr. Boulos said they had also discussed the country's conflict. And this is what Mr. Boulos said. The U.S. remain determined to support the ending of the conflict, he said, adding that they want an outcome which affirms the territorial integrity of the DRC. This is what the US wants, and this is what Mr. Boulos had obviously confirmed during that meeting. So after here, Mr. Boulos went to Rwanda. But prior to going to Rwanda, he obviously had visited the mining sites. Okay, so he went to Kolwezi. He went to see what is actually happening there. Now, folks, you need to remember this. I am not in favor of this, because this war wouldn't have taken place if it wasn't for the stupidity of Clinton, Bill Clinton, that is, and his administration. Their desire and the greediness of Clinton and Tony Blair in the UK, they have decided, had an agenda to invade the Democratic Republic of Congo and loot and do that. And Kagame was obviously the puppets that they could use to do all of this. So what am I saying here? I'm saying that it is the situation we find ourselves in. It is the US that started it. So in order to end all of this, so the President Tshisekedi's administration said, look, we better just go to the Kagame's masters. Let's go to Kagame's masters and deal with them and tell them that, look, let's just do business directly with you guys instead of going through Rwanda and dealing with him. The guy is killing, he's looting, he's doing all kind of terrible situation. He's doing all kind of bad things in that region. Oh, in my country. So what has happened at the moment is with the Trump administration, for some reason, I don't know why the Democrat had this deal with Kagame. I have no clue, but all I do know is that it is the Democrats that have done a lot of damage in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, the Trump administration wants to do things differently. So Boulos went obviously to meet Kagame after and gave them instructions. He told them, look, we are here and ready to do business with the DRC. That means you tell your guys to back off. Back off. And Kagame didn't like it. They didn't have a good conversation, but it was instruction from his masters. He couldn't say no to it. He was upset, but he couldn't say no to it. And that's the reason, one of the reasons why we don't even have the press conference after he left there. And obviously a message that is given to Kagame will go to Museveni in Uganda, and the same will go to Ruto in Kenya, because they're all behind Kagame, and whatever Kagame takes, he gives them a 10 here or 2% to them, and then the rest, he's a gangster. You know, that's let's put it that way. Kagame was a gangster in that region, and he was simply a gangster because the US wanted him to be a gangster, and game is over for him. Now the US says, look, boy, we are now here, so you might as well just step back and let us do business. So that's where we stand at the moment. Minding you, that the M23 group is now going to have a meeting in Doha, but I'll talk about this in my in another video. But for today, just want you to know that actually currently everything hinges or stands on this situation or on this deal. Once it is signed, ratified, then that's it. Peace is going to come back to that part of the region. Now, I don't know how long for that peace will be there, but what we do understand is once the US steps there, and you have to, the other strategic region the US is doing this is to contain China. Remember that, please, to contain China, but I'll talk about this later. I hope you have a wonderful day. I want to hear your opinion as well. Let me know, what do you think? Should the US, is the US a good thing? That is it a good thing that the DRC is getting into this deal with the US or no? Let me know your comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Share this links with others, and I look forward to your comments. Have a wonderful day. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye bye for now.